You know how sometimes you say something really publicly with absolute conviction, and then you do the exact opposite 6 months later? Yeah, that. Back in March 2024, I published a video called 5 Popular Patterns I Won't Knit. It now has over 58,000 views and is sitting pretty in my top 3 most watched videos. Apparently, a lot of you had thoughts about my strong opinions. Some agreed, some disagreed, some came solely for Oscar. And listen, I stand by everything I said in that video, but I got curious. I started to wonder if I could actually make some of those patterns work for me. Like, could I solve the problems I had with them using some thoughtful pattern hacking? Would I still hate them? Would Oscar mock me the entire time? So I challenged myself to try knitting each one. And guess what? I knit 4 of the 5, mostly successfully. But one I still cannot and will not do. I tried, but no, still a hard pass. And yes, we are absolutely saving that one for last because that's how we do things in YouTube land. So grab your knitting, maybe a cocktail, and let's get into it. Okay, first up, beanies. Here's what I originally said. A lot of hats and beanies. And you know what? Out of all of these, there are only a couple of them that I actually wear. Beanies and I have history, a long, disappointing history. I've knit a lot of them, and I wear almost none. My weird-shaped head needs volume around the face to look balanced. Most beanies just emphasize the weirdness of my head shape and make my glasses look like they're trying too hard. So, what did I knit? The Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teague. Twice. I chose it because the turned up brim is 4 layers thick, which gives me that needed volume. And it turns out all that plain stockinette is ideal travel knitting and movie theater knitting, or a crafty Zoom call, which I have been known to participate in. This hat is knit all in one tube. You start over here with a couple of stitches, do your increases, your crown shaping, knit straight forever, and do some decreases, and tie it off. And then you stuff one end of the hat, easy for me to say, into the other, and you have a lovely reversible beanie that can be worn lots of ways. But for me, as I said, I need that fullness around my face. Want to see it? Okay. How about it? It's not bad, right? I think it's kind of cute. My bangs need trimming. Otherwise, all good. Also, you can wear it way back on your head. You could even unfold it and have slouchy beanie land if that's your thing. It's not mine. And as you can see, it's double-sided, so you can play around with the colors. Cool feature of this hat is it's written to be knit at any gauge. You cast on, you knit for a bit, you measure, and then you follow the increases based on your actual gauge. No swatch shaming required. It's also fabulous for color blocking. I knit both of mine in 2 colors of Madeline Tosh sock yarn, changing up the colors at the midway point. You could even go scrappy with this pattern and just tie off all the ends and leave them floating in between the layers. How excellent is that concept? Here's what I learned from knitting this. I don't actually hate knitting beanies. I just needed the right pattern, something that works with my head, my hair, and my tolerance for endless stockinette. And of course it's reversible, which is great for when I inevitably drop it in a puddle chasing after Oscar in the rain. The verdict? Beanies redeemed, at least in this specific bougie gauge hacked form. All right, category 2, headbands. What I originally said about them, I wish I could wear it because bad hair days, man, like headbands like this for bad hair days would be great. I can't wear headbands. My hair is slippery. The back of my head is flat. They slide forward, backwards, off the sides, off the back. I once put one on and it ended up on the dog. True story, kinda. So what did I end up knitting? Vacation Mode by Shana S. Cohen. It's not a traditional in-the-round headband. It's a soft wrap style tie that I can knot under my hair. I knit it in Elsbeth Levold Hempathy, a DK weight cotton hemp modal blend, which gives it a bit of grip and a lot of nice drape. It only needs about 250 yards, so it's a great stash buster. Ready for the reveal? It's cute, right? And only mildly gives off a fortune teller vibe. You're right, Oscar. And bonus, it can double as a scarf or a cowl if you style it right. Also, we have a convertible car and it's perfect for hairstyle management during breezy top-down drives. The verdict? I still can't wear regular headbands, but this wrap, this works because tying it underneath my hair in the back means it stays in place. And it's especially good for those hair wash optional days. Really, truly. I've been wearing this. All right, enough things that go on my head because I am tired of brushing my hair every 2 minutes. Now we're going to move on to one of the really hot takes from that video, Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along Shawls. This is what I originally said. This might be the year that he actually does a design that I like. No. I love Stephen West's design brain, but his mystery knit-alongs are a lot. Too many textures, too many shapes, too many color changes, and even in black and white, they don't speak to me. And I already know I won't wear them. So what did I knit? Well, the pattern that I thought would be the most modifiable was Shawlography, which was his 2021 MKAL. I toned down the colors to 4 shades of teal, blue, and green with 1 hit of a contrast, this rusty orange. I think this color is called Bourbon. These all were in my stash. Then I did what I always do. I hacked the shape. I did a bunch of upfront planning to convert it from the semicircle shape it was designed in into a rectangle so that I could eventually seam it into a wrap over. I did not knit an entire shawl. I did a large sample so that I could get a sense of what it would look like converted into a rectangle shape. Want to see it a little closer? If you're new here and you don't know about wrapovers, wrapovers are my go-to shawl hack. Big rectangles that are sewn together into sort of a loop that drape beautifully and don't fall off your shoulders. There's a link up here to a series of videos that will tell you all about it. Okay, back to this. I don't hate it, but there are some things I would still change before knitting a full project of this. So if, and that's a big if, I decide to knit this full size, here are some things I would do. I would skip the baubles. I don't know why I even knit these. I just can't with the baubles. I can't. I would also skip these kind of weird I-cord loops and these flappy tucked things right here. I think largely it's just the 3D elements that don't float my boat. I would also narrow these striped bands at the bottom to reduce the circus tent awning vibe. And I would take these alternating colored garter stitch sections and put them in between some of these elements, like here instead of the tucks and here instead of the baubles. What I do like about it, I like the color and texture of this section right here, this section right here, this section right here, the two-color brioche right here, this crisscrossy business in here, and I like the band at the bottom, but again, I want them narrower. The textures were really interesting to knit, and I think once I remove the bits that give me hives, it could actually be quite elegant. So what do you think? Should I go for it? Will I wear it? And more importantly, do you want to see it? Let me know down in the comments. And no, I still will not do one of his mystery knit-alongs. I don't like knitting blind, and I especially don't like committing to 5 weeks of mystery that ends in baubles. Now there is a Stephen West shawl pattern that I really want to knit. It's called the Glittering Snowscape Shawl. I love the textures in it and the gradient tonal fade from top to bottom, and that it would be super easy to convert into a rectangle and then a wrap over. So the final verdict, modified West, yes. Mystery West, still nope. And now for the one that you knew had to be in here, the Ranunculus by Midori Hirose. Here's what I originally said. Sweater. Every time I turn around, I see somebody talking about the Ranunculus sweater. Ranunculus remains one of the most knitted sweaters on Ravelry. However, that deep armhole, boxy shape, and crazy oversized fit doesn't work for me. I'm short, curvy, and I want a sweater that hints at the waistline that I used to have. Ranunculus is gorgeous, but it's a no, right? Okay, wrong. This pattern has so many options with info all over the place. So I put the whole thing in page protectors and I stored it in my snazzy new leather pattern binder from Thread and Maple. Oh, it smells so leathery. If you're interested in one of these, I have an affiliate link down in the description box. Any Thread and Maple purchase you make by going through that link helps support this channel, BT Dub. Now, back to the sweater. I completed it with 5 modifications. Mod number 1, way less ease. I went with 7 inches of positive ease at the full bust instead of the 15 to 29 inches recommended in the pattern. Reducing the ease also helped reduce the depth from the shoulder to the armhole. So this armhole actually sits under my arm and not at my waist. Mod number 2. I skipped the neckline ribbing. I almost never start a top-down sweater with the neckband. There's not enough stability and not enough control over the finished circumference. So what I did was I cast on directly to start the yoke with 90 stitches. I'll get to how I finished off the neckband in just a minute. Number 3, I did short rows only on the back. I wanted the front to drop down lower than the back and not have this wedge of stocking stitch before the neckline textures started. Number 4, I changed the hem. First time around, I knit the twisted rib hem as written, but I found that it torqued like crazy, and I just didn't like the way it created a visual break on an already quite short body. So what I did was I substituted one of the slip stitch elements from the yoke and did 3 rounds of it, and then the 2-stitch I-cord bind off. And I am super happy about that finish. It's so clean and elegant and exactly what I wanted. And then finally, mod number 5 are the sleeves. I knit about 1.5 inches out from the armhole and then just bound it off with the 2-stitch I-cord. No, I'm sure they're not, Oscar. And finally, I went back to the neckline and picked up stitches to create a clean and stable neckline. After a bit of experimenting to get the proportion I wanted, I picked up 68 out of 90 stitches, knit 1 row, and then bound off. Do you want to see it on? Ta-da! It's pretty darn good, right? And I am completely obsessed with this yarn. It is Illimani Sabri 2, 85% organic cotton, 15% baby alpaca. It's a worsted weight chainette construction, so it's light, soft, and shockingly affordable for how nice it is. I got this from Pure Laine in Quebec. I only needed 3 skeins, and I barely even cracked the 3rd one. So the total cost was $76, including shipping. There will definitely be more knitting in this yarn in my future. So the verdict, it's beautiful, it fits, I'll wear it, but I probably won't knit another. For me, it's a successful one and done. There are too many patterns and life is too short. And finally, the one I was saving for last, always a hot take. PetiteKnit's Sophie Scarf. Here's what I originally said about this insanely popular pattern. I have seen this everywhere. I have seen multiple podcasts where people have talked about it and they've knit lots of them and they absolutely love it. Now, before you send a mob of angry villagers with torches and pitchforks after me, I want you to hear me out on this one. I hate things tied around my neck. I wear V and scoop necks for a reason, and this pattern, while absolutely beloved, looks too simple to keep me interested. So I had to figure out how to modify it so that I could wear it away from my neck without just tying it bandana style and letting it flop around, which would also make me grumpy. I thought maybe I could just knit an I-cord edge strip of garter and graft it into a long loop and double it up and wear it like a loose cowl. Kind of like this. But nope, too boring. And then I thought maybe I could knit it as it is in a long, skinny triangle shape, but add a slit on one side to pull a loose end through, which would hold it together around my shoulders. I got this far and stopped cold. I just didn't want to do it. The verdict? I gave it a real chance. I really tried, but unless someone extraordinarily knitworthy and persuasive begs me for one, I'm not knitting it. It's just not for me. Okay, and last up, as a little bonus, the emotional support chicken. What I originally said was, it's ridiculous, it's everywhere, I love it, and I would absolutely knit one. I really had a laugh reading the video comments on this because it was either you were all 100% in or you've got to be kidding me. Of all the controversy in that video, I never thought the chicken would be the hottest take. Anyway, I said I would knit one. Did I? Well, I haven't exactly found the time to do the full-size version, but fortunately, there's a half-size one now. So I knit that one, right? No. Here's what I had time to knit. Tiny Chicken from the Teeny Tiny Mochi Mochi's book by Anna Hrachevek. You know how I love my teeny tiny things. You've heard me say that before. Hopefully, I won't be needing more emotional support than this tiny chicken can provide. Oscar, there's never enough emotional support for you. The verdict? I still want to knit a full-size one, but clearly I'm on the chicken installment plan. So let's recap. Beanies. Musselburgh for the win. Headbands. With a vacation mode, I found a loophole. Haha. Stephen West mystery knit-alongs. Shawlography can be hacked into shape. Ranunculus. Modified to perfection. Dear Sophie is still a nope. And the chicken, someday its roost will come. I would love to know what pattern you swore you'd never knit and then totally caved. Or what project is still sitting in your mental penalty box? Drop it all in the comments. Let's have a conversation. If you haven't seen the original video that started the whole thing, there's a link right here. Spoiler alert, I was both very certain and not entirely correct. I say goodbye. Oscar says goodbye. Keep those needles clicking, preferably not in a mystery pattern involving baubles. Bye!